Now today I'm going to have a chance, hopefully, to learn something new in the world of polishing. I have a new product to try. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is going to work. Now I always think one of the easiest, quickest things you can do to customize or personalize a motorcycle is the paint work. But the second is the polishing of parts, any parts. And over the course of this winter, we've polished quite a bit of parts. Done some on camera, done some off camera, but we've used the traditional polishing method. And today I want to try something just a little bit different. I'm not sure if this is going to work the way I want, but I'm certainly willing to give it a try. So I wanted to take a guinea pig part. These haven't been repolished since the original polishing a year ago. Oh, more than a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. So what I want to do is I want to take these parts off. And I want to try my new, I don't know if this, you never know until you try something if it's going to work. I'm looking forward to seeing how this is going to work. Now to be honest, when I heard about this, I was a little skeptical. And so what I decided to do was get a sample of this material. It's called abrasive wet or dry trimite polishing paper. And I finally got a little sample from a friend. And now we're going to try to see how that's going to work. Now, the thing with this is you use this using WD-40. So the first thing I noticed about this polishing paper, you can actually see right through it. It's paper thin. I don't know if this is what does the cutting. It looks like it has little diamond chips in it. But anyway, I'm always willing to try something, and if it doesn't work, or if the methods I've used seem to work a little better, we'll find out. Now, of course, in the world of model airplanes, you would never do this, or if you're doing paint, you would never do this. But it's always, well, I've never heard of doing this with WD-40, but I'm always willing to try. And the trick with all this stuff is the material, the liquid that you use. Let's say you use soapy water, just as an example. The soapy water is really there just to keep the paper so it's flush and it's floating away the debris that you sand off. When you sand dry, what happens is it clogs up the grit. In between the mountain ranges, the grit that's coming off, the aluminum, is a problem. So anyway, I thought this would be an interesting thing to share with my friends on YouTube. We'll see if it works. It obviously works for some people. And the thing to always keep in mind is everybody has their own little techniques. And I've watched enough videos to know that you never know it all. There's always something to learn. I'm very curious how this is going to work out. Now, I have used just plain water, soapy water. I have used in the past on modeling many times a product called Sickens M600, a degreaser, and it's, to be honest, they all work, but this is supposed to be one of the things that really works well. I guess we're going to find out in about a minute here. Now what I'm trying to do, just to give it a fair try, is make waffles. Sand in this direction, which makes little waffle squares. And I have a bunch of little parts I wanted to polish over the next couple of days, but I thought I'd try this just to see if I could learn something. And the truth is, you can always learn something. And thanks to YouTube, you can always share what you learn very, very conveniently. And you can build a worldwide group of friends that share things. I think you're way ahead of the game. Let me just get a rag and polish this off. A couple of things. Of course, we're still going to go over to the polishing wheel, but we want to see how much we've got. I can still see scratches in there. So I don't see, because they don't tell you what grit this is. Maybe this grit is a little too rough for this project. I don't know. We're going to see how long it takes to take the sanding scratches out. But interesting, the WD-40 I wanted to show really does keep the paper from clogging up. And I think the only thing wrong with this is we need, well, again, I wish they would write on the back of it what grit this is. I don't know what it is. It's probably it looks like, from the look of the scratches, it looks like it's 2000 grit. Now, always the thing to keep in mind about all polishing, depending on the hardness of the material, the metallurgy involved, and depending on what compound sandpaper group of grits you're using, it's all about removing the scratches. And the most common way to do any part is to go in with, let's just say, 1500 paper, sand the scratches out with 2000 grit, sand those out with 3000 grit, then go in with compound, then go in with fine compound. There's experimenting how to do it. There's no one way to do it. And if you look at enough YouTube videos, what you find out, the guys that do truck gas tanks and wheels, they just go in with rough red compound and a big giant wheel. Well, you can't do that with little parts like this. They're delicate. Also, the quality of the shine, and this actually does look okay. I'm surprised. Now, I had never done that WD40 thing. I'm going to try it on a couple of more parts that I'm going to do today. But I think it's worth, if you're going to do that polishing paper, it's something worth trying. Now, after all the really rough polishing, this is always the best way to put a really nice mirror-like finish on a piece of aluminum. These really soft pads, again, they're Harbor Freight, high speed in a drill press, and that does about the best job. No compound at all. Now, I always think there's shine, there's really nice shine, then it's like a mirror. This really came out nice, I have to admit. Now, I'm not sure that's for sure. It's not the only way to do things, but it's certainly one thing to add to our repertoire of things that we can do. And I have a lot of little parts to polish over this winter. I'll try this on different material, even steel, but right now that does have a nice look. I have to admit that did work. Now, this is unrelated to motorcycles, but I thought this is a thing worth sharing. What I have is, I was over at the kids' house today. They had a leaky sink faucet, and the whole bottom of their sink rotted away. So I went and bought a piece of this 3/8 plywood. I don't even know what it is. And what I was looking to do is get some kind of a waterproof finish on it, and I thought, well, you know, they have a real intolerance to paint fumes and stuff, so I wasn't able to put clear paint on it. But I thought, wow, what a great idea. I used a piece of scrap that I have left over from the clear that Dave Midgley sent us a sample. This is the 3M clear that they make car bras out of. And boy, for the bottom of a sink, wow, I think that's going to work out just great. Anyway, something you might want to use your scrap stuff up on. I don't know, it came out pretty good. And it's time to go to install it for the kids. And there's one of the parts that we're going to do today. I just think that really worked fine. I don't know how this is going to work on steel until I'll do that as a separate video, but I just wanted to just share what I learned along the way. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and of course, thanks for watching. You actually could use this to shave in. It actually did come out pretty nice. One more little thing we've added to our ability to polish parts. Hope you enjoyed the video, and of course, thanks for watching.